All right, thank you. All right, so this is Lace Up Culture, also known as Look. This is by me, obviously, and just like Gloria said, this is basically, not Gloria, just like how Maya said. Sorry about that. It's about basically my idea of trying to make the sneaker world more apparent for everyone and make it probably more widespread than it is right now. So our mission, so obviously this was a kind of like organization founded by me in this year. And I'm trying to help people understand how to get around the sneaker world and even how to make some money by trading sneakers with one another. As you can see, with the logo and also with the motto down here, it says step into the sneaker world where passion meets style and discover sneakers and beyond. So basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people understand kind of what it means to like understand how fashion and sneakers kind of work together, and also trying to break those limits, not just like being able to trade sneakers, but also trying to have more community inclusive events and also trying to include more diversity and representation within our own events with this organization. So instead of just trading sneakers, instead of just having another one of those regular type of like sneaker events, sneaker organizations, maybe like a store, we're trying to include more real life and current events and problems in our society incorporated into kind of like what we're trying to do, into like trying to make an impact for local communities and communities around the country. So here are three objectives for our sneaker organization. So our first objective is to give information and advice about the sneaker world. So obviously, like when it comes to having an organization like this, it's obviously important to give information about the sneaker world because it's so important for people to understand the information, because the sneaker world is incredibly complex, it's intricate, there's too many parts to it for a regular person to handle by themselves. So by us giving information and steps on how to get around the sneaker world, it's really easy for them, and it was easy for me at least, in order for them to kind of like understand what it means to make money, understand how it means to like just get around in general. The second objective is to update and post about new sneaker drops. So this is very important because we plan to at least update the public or people in our organization about these kind of sneaker drops, because in order for people to actually understand about the sneaker world, in order for people to make money, people to actually like make connections by having these sneaker drops and by understanding like, oh, I need to get these sneakers or I don't need to get these sneakers, it's really important for these people to like save their energy, save their time, etc. And then our third objective is to offer money making techniques from these aspects. So obviously money doesn't mean everything, but it's just a really good perk of being part of the organization, because obviously in the sneaker world today, maybe you've seen this on TikTok, you've seen this on social media, being able to make money from sneakers is a really big deal. And you might see pictures of people who have like rows and rows, like hundreds of rows of just the same sneakers, or different sneakers, whatever it is. And these are just some of the people that we like to call like resellers, and sneakerheads in general. So in addition, we will also introduce a new face of rising trends in fashion and clothing. So as you can see on the right with the picture, I believe that's Playboi Carti, who is actually one of my favorite rapper artists. And as you can see, he's rocking the Air Jordan Chicago 1s. So we strive to create a close-knit bond with people of similar interest. And additionally, we will also help the community outside of the sneaker world, like I said earlier. So here are some of the obstacles and approaches that we basically face so far and we plan to face in the future. So obviously one of the most probably apprehensive kind of obstacles that we might face are limited releases. And this is mainly because with limited releases, it's a very complex situation, because some sneakers might be released a little bit later, some sneakers might be released like earlier, and it's really hard to manage like how we're going to be able to track down all these sneaker releases. And also in general, when it comes to these releases, a lot of people, especially people who are resellers, people who are hype beasts, they like to take over the sneaker market. So they like to try to buy everything, and then not allow other people, or they try using bots or some kind of like AI generated um, system in order to buy all these sneakers, which means that we as an organization can't really access these kind of releases. So we're going to really try to focus on that specifically. And also in general, it's expensive because sneakers nowadays can cost anywhere from say $100 to $50,000, which is quite crazy because imagine a $50,000 shoe, that's like the cost of a car I could be rent for like an entire year. So that's why it's also really expensive to work with the sneaker market. And then diversity and representation, obviously, because we're trying to include more like ethnic backgrounds, or trying to include more socioeconomic backgrounds, and also trying to represent that throughout organizations and throughout the communities like around the country. And then also a lot of fake reps. So what are fake reps? Well, basically fake reps are just like the equivalent of fake sneakers. So fake sneakers are obviously like one of the most horrible things that we've ever seen in this planet, because fake sneakers do not give any value, and they also don't have any of the similar attributes of regular sneakers. And it's really important, even though people might say, oh, fake reps are just the same thing as real sneakers, they're made in the same factory. Well, actually, in fact, when it comes to making the same factory, they use less material, and also their value goes down because usually you could say like the shareholders of the company, they're not trying to have these fake reps being sold. So which is why the market value has gone down so much. So here are some of our teachers and resources that we've actually reached out to. So recently, our organization attended a school club fair, which is my school actually, where we received around 50 responses to our club form. But other than that, we also reached to 100+ people across the country, across communities from New York, Los Angeles, Houston, I believe San Diego, all of those big cities. And we've also found many teachers on campus and also people around actually the country in general who are very interested in supporting the club, and I made future plans to partner up for investments, supplements, etc. So here are our main platforms that we use so far. So obviously social media is probably our best one, the biggest one. Right now we have an Instagram, and we also have a TikTok. So right now we're trying to post like sneaker releases. I'm trying to post just like regular content on social media because it's so big these days. And we're also trying to set up a Facebook and a Twitter, which are coming soon. But right now we're mainly focusing on our Instagram and our TikToks. In a general, sorry, in addition, we also have a website, which is still in development, but this website is mainly for like not only just having sneaker releases, but also just regular information about what it means to be in the sneaker world, kind of our sole purpose, our mission statements. And then probably we're going to have like events being scheduled on our website in order for people to meet up, for people to like sell or trade sneakers. So it's also going to be like an online platform for people trying to like connect with each other and try to build community, trying to make that close-knit bond that we're trying to receive. And then our main hope is to mainly spread by word of mouth, social media, obviously, and then through school-wide events at my school, and trying to reach out to local communities from that, like Minter sneaker conventions and also clothing drives. And we hope to increase all of our marketing of Lace Up Culture by 30 to 50%, at least in the next year, so then we can actually have some traction and some development within our online platforms. So currently, even though we are a newly made organization that started in a small high school, we are beginning to introduce the sneaker world to neighborhoods and cities. So far, we have held events such as SNU donation drives, mini sneaker pop-ups, and partnerships with other school clubs. And all of our sneaker donations, for example, go to many different like community and volunteering kind of services, such as the Inland Valley Hope Center located in Pomona, California, which is actually really close to my school. So actually, for example, with these donation drives, I remember like last year actually, in 2022, we set up a couple of boxes around my school, just for people to like donate any clothing, mainly shoes, because we partnered up with the Inland Valley Hope Center in order to bring more like shoes, sneakers, not necessarily expensive ones, but just ones in general. So then people who are less fortunate than us can be able to access like at least some kind of clothing for their own lives. All right, and in conclusion, Lace Up Culture is more than just a sneaker club. It's a vibrant community that helps people understand what Sneaker World is about. And through the Sneaker World, we're trying to create more close-knit bonds in communities. We're trying to create more ideas of being able to include diversity and representation. And we're also a source of knowledge and a platform for personal growth. And if you'd like to hear more about late subculture and its effects, here are some ways to get involved with us. So firstly, you can organize events around Los Angeles or around the country, like in New York or Houston, wherever you live. And under the name of Late Subculture, you guys can just organize your own events just by having like, regular kind of like sneaker pop-ups or like even donations, whatever it is. Donate sneakers, obviously, and or clothing drives, and also spread the word of mouth about Late Subculture in your community. So we're really just trying to, get a lot of like marketing kind of out there, kind of like spread a word of mouth. Obviously, we're not like a for-profit organization. We're just trying to make the community better, just one step at a time or through one sneaker at a time. All right, that's it. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to email us at info@latesubculture.org. But yeah.